All right, so here's how this is going to work for this one. I started to record one last night, and I was on Instagram Live, and in the middle of that, Sam jumped on the Instagram Live, which is totally fine. However, we were on it for like 40-something minutes, so it was a super long time, and the audio quality from the phone being recorded into the microphone sounded like something from Blair Witch. It was awful, so I'm going to cut all that, which only left like maybe 15 minutes of myself recording, which was the whole point of it. So it's going to jump around a little bit. Just enjoy the ride. California's on fire, which is pretty much all there is to talk about now. Football's back. Not the biggest football guy, but people love fucking football, man. The whole, you can just feel it, like everything changes like the first like week of football. People are just talking like nonstop about football, as if everybody cares, as if it's like this whole collective cultural like unity that we all are just like, yeah, fucking football's back. It never occurs to anybody else that maybe somebody else doesn't like football. It seems very just the most territorial sport. It's like even the most intense basketball conversations, like fuck the Lakers, fuck the Warriors, it's never as intense as like, I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm a Niners fan. One thing I've noticed when we get to this season, the fires are, again, the only thing that there is to talk about. However, it seems like we all just like, oh, it becomes like a competition. It's like the weather. It's like the same thing as weather. Like, it's hot. It's like, oh, well, it's even hotter at my house. Like, oh, how's the smoke? Oh, the smoke, dude, it's bad here. It's like, oh, well, it's even worse where I live. It's like, can we all just fucking shut up about it and just agree that it sucks? And also, I'm curious as to, like, what people in other states think about California when this happens. Like, you know, when people... Like in other states, it's like, oh, like I wouldn't want to move to Florida because of the humidity and the hurricanes. Like, put politics aside. Let's see, is this gonna work? Sam wants to join. Hold on. Of course, I'm clicking it and it's not working. I don't know, dude. Can't figure it out. It's not working. I'm also doing this on my old phone. So yeah, we're rocking like iPhone 11, iPhone 10 actually. Requested again. Yeah, we've aged out of this. I think this is the first time I've ever even done Instagram Live. Somebody out there, help the boomers. Help us out. We can't figure it out. So, weather. Yeah. I hate weather talk. Hate small talk. When there's nothing, it's like the first thing somebody says, especially now because like it's hot, right? People want to just complain about it. Do you remember the Sony Ericsson? Do you remember that? One of my girlfriends in 8th grade, I broke it. We were walking around in like Rayleigh's or Safeway, and I like was fucking around with her phone and like dropped it on the tile and it fucking obliterated. She was like, my parents are gonna kill me. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't have let me play with your phone. Well, stupid. Now it's broken, even though it's my fault. Hey, Chris Birch, are you up or down on football? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Chris is so far up on football, it's like up his ass.
Right up there, huh? Hey, so how about that smoke, dude? It's super smoky, dude. Is it smoky where you are? on the way back from the gym, there was like all the firefighters and shit like coming back, and like there were like people like honking and like getting out of the way for them, and I'm like, they're like giant fire trucks. They do like 40 miles an hour. Like, you're just gonna have to get in front of them again. They were doing like I don't fucking know, like the you know, like the fucking Harley Davidson wave or whatever, like the fire trucks, they were like honoring them, which is great. That's fine. But they were like all like out of line, like slowing down for them to pass, and it was like causing a backup, and but then there'd be like 4, and then there'd be like 1 straggler, and then like another set of 6. And so it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, this isn't helping them. They're going away from the fire. They're going home. If anything, help them go to the fire. You want to talk red flags here?
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's see. How do you feel about flip-flops in like a non-beach activity? And I know, like, think about this because you do wear flip-flops, but I guess like
I've been wearing flip-flops all day, like.
I know, but I'm trying to think, like, you know, you just see flip-flops. You see like a dude in flip-flops and like cargo shorts and like a button-up.
It's when you're like at dinner and there's a dude with jeans and flip-flops.
Yes. Big no. Big no on that. Yeah, or like, hey, we're going out to dinner, babe. Let me throw on my nice dress shirt and like my salmon shorts.
My nice dress shirt, it's always Tommy Bahama.
Yeah, let me throw on my $115.
Wash jeans.
Yeah. With like rips in them, and they're always like sagging. You know, they're like always like too long. Remember when that was in style?
Or it's like the opposite way, where they have like the super baggy like Ed Hardy jeans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or like bedazzled.
Yeah.
They always have flip-flops. They don't own closed-toed shoes.
No, people who don't cuss. You know when they like go out of their way to like not swear. It's like. Like, just say shit. Like, you don't have to say, like, caca. Like, it's weird now. Like, you sound like a...
When they make it more awkward.
Yes, yeah. They're like, you're almost, like, drawing more attention to the fact that you're not swearing. When you, like, want to swear, you're, like, really mad. But you're like...
I've heard people all the time say, like, shiz.
Shit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, when you were in, like, 3rd grade on the playground. Oh, Jiminy Crickets. Yeah, that's kind of ironic, though. You can, like, say that, like, kind of funnel, like, in a humorous way, I guess, right? You could kind of, like, I could see, like, Jiminy Crickets. But I guess if I said it, it'd be, I cuss a lot. So it's, like, it's the other side. Okay, here's another one that I saw in the wild. The dudes, the guys who wear, like, the superhero shirts that, like...
Superman shirt?
Yeah, and I saw this guy specifically. He was walking into REI, like, of course, right? And he had like a fucking skin tight like Spider-Man thing, and it was all like he had like the gradient and everything, and of course he's wearing like fucking New Balances and like cargo shorts, and I'm like, what are you doing? Do you think that I think you're him? You're not him. You're not Spider-Man. I know that.
Dude, he might have a mask in his back pocket.
Maybe, and he's with his girl, and he's like with his significant other, I'm assuming. Although I don't know what kind of people those people attract, male or female. Like, of all the shirts, you decided to, like, I'm gonna be Spider-Man today, babe.
Okay, now that we're on the Spider-Man subject, I have a question about Spider-Man.
Okay.
If you were like at the beach, like with no shoes on, does he just like have his Spider-Man boots like somewhere where he can put them on? Like,
oh, right. Yeah, what if Spider-Man...
he's not barefoot under there.
No. Yeah, what if Spider-Man was just... He's like, look, nothing's gonna happen. It's fucking slow day, dude. It's a Tuesday. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, Green Goblin is fucking up the town. And then he's got to go do something. I guess he always has to carry it around.
To go change, like,
Maybe. Or what if he just masked it? He was like just the mask, no shirt, and then like flamingo swim trunks.
you're like, hey, I'm pretty sure like that guy has the same swim trunks as Peter.
Oh, shout out to Emily. This shit slaps, son. I fucked up that stain. That stain is in a fucking another dimension, dude. I had to do it like probably it's brought to you by Resolve. I had to probably do it like 6 times, but it's well, I mean, it's like not gone, but it's like
But like, you do it again, the carpet might just like fall apart.
exactly. Well, the fucked up part is like we sprinkled baking soda on it and like sprayed vinegar on it. I don't know, like we're fucking gypsies or something. Like we're just
We turned that in our shower.
yeah. Well, we were just trying to get the stain up. Anyways, long story short, the fucking baking soda is like caked into the carpet now. It's like there's like big chunks, but like the stain is gone. But like now it's just like it's crusty. Yeah, there's like less than a quarter of the bottle left in here now because I just nuked it. Dude, I'm telling you, the stain is like, it's like this fucking big. It's huge because I spilled it from like 4 feet up, and it was a giant ass cup of green matcha.
Were you by yourself in there when you did that?
No, I was recording a podcast with Fallon, so it's on camera.
Oh,
Yeah, it's documented.
footage.
It's hiding, destroyed, the same place they put how they built the pyramids.
Or the fake moon landing.
It's gone. Yeah. Well, the moon landing was fake. I mean, I guess if you were going to fake the moon landing, you think you'd make it a little cooler up there? It looked like shit. There's nothing on the fucking moon. If they were going to fake it, like, put some, I don't know, something up there.
Is that a dinosaur?
Yeah. Yeah, the one dinosaur after the fucking asteroid came, just like up to the moon, and it's been there ever since.
I was on Instagram the other day, and I saw this like dude who reviews movies.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing like a thing where he's like he watches like the top 10 like biggest flops of all time.
Oh, okay.
And
That's fun.
The one he's watching is Moonfall.
Oh, that's new, right?
Yeah, they spent like an absurd amount of money on this, and I think they've only made like 10% of it.
Oh my god. Yeah, I saw that.
I kind of want to watch that.
I know, same. Now that I know it's terrible.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
Yeah, I know. I saw it on the front thing. I think there's a dude from Game of Thrones in it.
Because the dude that reviews him, he's like, it's amazing visually. Like, they did a great job.
Yeah.
But it's a terrible movie. What's Andrea up to?
I don't know. She's downstairs reading.
Is she doing cleaning at 5 a.m. today, or what?
Not today, no. But yeah, the other morning was like, she had me sweeping at 6 a.m., dude. She was like, yeah. She's like, hey, can you just do me a favor and just do like a quick sweep? And I'm like, it's fucking 6, it's like 6:10.
What is this little house in the fucking...
I know, like, I'm like, what am I doing? Have me doing chores and shit in the morning? Dude, there's smoke. It's bad, okay?
How's the bear situation?
Oh, they came back.
Did you call anybody this time?
Who am I supposed to call?
I gave you multiple options.
What are they gonna do?
There's a fire. They can't do anything right now.
Well, the smoke's really bad, so they can't come up here.
They get the bears and they take them back where they're supposed to.
How do they know where they're supposed to go?
They bring him back to where there's no people.
The forest is burning. They can't. If they brought him back to the forest, they'd be dead, okay? So our trash can saved the bears' lives.
Or, you know what? Kidnap the baby and raise him.
Holy shit. Now that's a fucking story. And then I can leverage the cub with the mama bear, and then we could have like our own bear family. You know what I mean?
Eventually, they're going to turn on you and you're dead.
No. See, Timothy Treadwell was an idiot, okay? He didn't discipline the bears. I will be disciplining these fucking bears if they...
Timothy Treadwell.
Yeah, Timothy Treadwell, I'm pretty sure, is the dude from Grizzly Man, that documentary, who lived... I'm pretty sure. Well, that's not his real name, I don't think. That'd be a cool name, though. I have been reading about Christopher Columbus.
Fucking phony, dude.
Fucking dick, dude. Royal dick. This book is saying... You ready for you ready to be nerd alert right now? It's actually pretty interesting. So he convinced the Spanish king and queen to fund this trip to go find gold. That's what his whole shtick was, right? Hey, I'm going to go find gold. You're going to pay for it. And whatever gold I bring back, you're going to give me 10%. King and queen are like, cool. They got a bunch of investors. They did it. So he's going to look for like Asia or India or whatever the fuck, he's drawing his stupid map while he's getting there. And then he hits the Bahamas and he's like, cool, found it. Like the Louis C.K. joke, right? Like, you're Indians, right? And he goes, nah. He's like, nah, you're Indians. Well, so he shows up, right? And of course the Indians are nice and they like take him in. He's like, mistake. We have guns. You do not. I'm going to take some slaves back. You're fucked now. Show me where the gold is, or I'll kill you, basically. Well, over the course of like 60 years, right, he like enslaved a bunch of fucking Native Americans and did horrible things. He didn't, he like, when he was first doing it, he didn't find the gold. Like, there wasn't a lot of gold because he was on the East Coast. And like, at least from what we were taught, like all the gold's on the West Coast, right? The gold rush. That's why everybody came west to find fucking gold. There wasn't a bunch of gold on the East Coast. And so he's like, all right, well, I need to pay back all these investors that invested in me to come to America or wherever to find gold. I'm going to take back slaves. So he was just taking slaves, like Native American slaves, like by the fucking boatload back. And that's how he like repaid his debt. And then, just a whole bunch of fucked up shit. And everybody started coming over here and yeah. Yeah, it's called A People's History of the United States. And it starts, the first chapter is Christopher Columbus and the Native American. Christopher asshole Columbus And yeah, so that's that. And now I'm in the colonies. Let's say, in theory, if you believed in ghosts, do you believe that, like, in the ghost part of the world, there's also, like, mosquito ghosts, that all the mosquitoes that have ever died?
That would fucking suck.
Wouldn't that be the...
Everything, and then you become a fucking ghost. Nothing can kill me. Nothing can hurt me. Oh, fuck. The mosquitoes with me.
That would be the fucking worst, dude.
It's for eternity.
You find out that, like, you know, you die and you get to the afterlife. You're like, this is chill, dude. I can just hang out. And you're like, what the fuck is that?
Also, if all the mosquitoes that have died are there, they way outnumber us.
Oh, yeah. I hope that there's DEET in the afterlife. I'm gonna be stocking up. I'm gonna be burying me with some DEET. Like the Egyptians.
Soak the coffin in DEET.
Yeah. You know, like the holy water on the coffin at the end. They're like they're just spraying like REID. They got like the fucking like a the Orkin man is at your
Don't give me the like, good for nature bug spray.
No.
The thieves. Don't give me the thieves.
I need the goodbye ozone layer fucking DEET, okay? I'm trying to fuck up these mosquitoes.
Alright, I gotta go help with bedtime.
All right. Thanks for hanging. Later, buddy.
See you at the gym tomorrow.
Yep, see ya. Oh, man. That was fun. Bugs in the afterlife. That would suck. That would be a major bummer because I hate bugs, and I think most people don't like bugs. I think all the bugs that are good stay out of the way, right? Like, all like the beetles, all the whatever insects that provide the environment with the fucking ecosystem, how it works, are fine. I don't think mosquitoes do anything. I don't think flies do anything. I don't think, I don't know. Sometimes you'll get a grasshopper land on you every now and then. Like, what are they doing? You know when you get a bug on your car, and then you start your car, and then you drive away, and all I can think of is like, I'm taking this bug like so far away from its family. It doesn't even know. How is it going to get back? How is this bug going to get back to its family? It's never going to. It's like a little baby caterpillar, or like a, some sort of like ant or something. It's just on your windshield, and you just leave it, and then you get to work, and you're like, well, the bug is here now. This is just it. Like, how far away in comparison to how big that bug is are you? Like, have you just gone to space at this point to be like picking one of us up and then just like going to fucking Pluto or Venus or some crazy shit like that? These are the things that I think about. I always think about them because I care about the bugs. Oh, fuck bugs. What else? I have a lot of stray cats in our area. Not a fan. There's too many of them. Andrea feeds like one, and then they like start to fight. There's like a turf war with the cats, and there's like a turf war with the cats. We go to feed it, and there's like the white cat that like we haven't been feeding, and then like the orange cat, and they're like, one of them's under the car, and it's like they're fighting about like this little tiny amount of food. And then they like come in our backyard, and then they lay in the puddle of AC drip. That can't be healthy. And then they just let the AC drip on them, just like poisoning their skin as they're laying there. But they're cats. They don't know what air conditioning is. Say they're so smart. They're laying in air conditioning. Stupid cats. They don't know. They'll never know. They still say dogs are the smartest animal. Or I guess not the smartest. What's the smartest animal? I think it's still dolphins. I think dolphins, or maybe not an elephant. I think it's all comparative to how big your body is compared to your brain. Like, we still have in proportions to how big our body is in our brain, we still are the biggest. But I think that, let's look it up because we have time and I have a computer. I've heard pigs are smart too. Apes, dolphins, elephants, rats, dogs. 5 smartest animals on Earth. Yeah, that makes sense. Dolphins are weird, man. They're very weird because dolphins get like horny and like get really worked up when they're around people or the trainers or whatever, right? They'll like just start like a dog, like literally like a dog, just start humping the trainer, and then there's just like nothing. Like what's the trainer just has to, I mean, it can't overpower a dolphin. It has to just let it finish or walk away or just stand up and walk on land, and then you just blue balled the dolphin. And we share 99% of our DNA with chimps and apes and bonobos, which is very interesting that the 1% is us. And then the small margin, the 1% is the difference between us and a chimp, which is kind of crazy. One time Andrea and I were at the Memphis Zoo, and we saw this gorilla, like this silverback gorilla, like stand up on its hind legs and like do like a little walk, maybe like 10 to 15 feet. And it was fucking terrifying. And yeah, couldn't imagine seeing one of those in the wild, like, and all you got's your fucking spear or like a rock. And you like climb a tree, and then it just climbs up there and just fucking kills you in the tree. And there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, what a life. This is still the best time to be alive. No matter what anybody says, no matter what, all the shit you see, all the bad things that happen in the world, and there's a lot that happens. This is still the best time to be alive. There's no other era, no other year. There isn't. There's nobody that would trade it to live. There's nobody that would trade this to live here like 100 years ago. You just wouldn't. So just try and enjoy it. Try and take advantage of all of the good things that we have right now from a technological standpoint, from a accessibility standpoint. Yeah, when you can change your perspective and really hone in on like, wow, I live a pretty damn good life even with all this other shit, right? Like, still have a job, still have food, still have a roof that I can afford. I'm healthy. I don't have any family that are, in the hospital. Like there's a lot of bad shit going on. You just kind of need a perspective shift sometimes. Going back to what I was reading about Christopher Columbus, because I'm a history nerd now, super into history for some reason. I could not imagine, like, we read about these people in history books like it's some foreign, faraway thing that, like, is like a story. But, like, these people were living, breathing, conscious, social people. And that is very, very daunting to wrap your head around. The things that were done to these people, and even just throughout human history, all for the sake of progress. That's all it's for. This human driven need for progress, no matter what, like at all costs. And we're kind of seeing it now still, not with, I mean, it may be in other countries and stuff, like, women being raped, kidnapped, they can't go to school, all this other shit. But I guess in the sense of like, tech companies and stuff, and I'm not going to beat it with a dead horse, but, for the sake of progress, they have our data. And, you know, that seems like a term that gets thrown around, right? Like, obviously, we're already all on the grid. Like, you can't put the fucking toothpaste back in the tube. Like, we're already, what's done is done. It's more of a matter of, like, how far is it going to go? You know, is some sort of entity or the government at some point just going to be able to, like, turn off your phone or turn off your lights? You know, you miss a bill payment by a day for your, you know, they're just going to shut off your lights or whatever. And this seems pretty, like, deep conspiracy shit. And that's not where I'm trying to go. I guess I'm just trying to put it in perspective of it's all for progress, right? These companies like, oh, well, we need your data to learn about you, to pitch these ads to you, and also to, like, lump you into a certain group of people that like certain groups of things. And then we could sell that data to another ad company, which gives us more money to fund this other thing that we're going to try and do. Like, it's just kind of it's all for the sake of progress. And because why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't you want to have a society where you're always progressing? And it's just going to get, you know, we're only going to keep getting better. I mean, imagine 100 years from now, like, you know, will we even have to go to work? Like, is it all going to be work from home? Are you just going to, like, is there even going to be, you know, are robots going to be doing everything, right? And this is the shit they were talking about in, like, the 1950s, right? Like, going to the moon or, like, going to space and shit was, like, way, like, so far gone. But it's really not that far out of the realm of possibility of, like, you know, maybe in the next 100 to 200 years, living on another planet. Terraforming another planet for us to live on, because at some point we're going to have to, you know, I mean, the population's only going to get bigger. The planet can only take so much, right? And that's not even like a global warming, like, hot take. That's just a fact. Like, the more people you put on this earth, the more resources you're pulling from the earth, and the earth only has so many resources. Like, that's a fact. That's not anything crazy. Everybody should be able to agree on that. But yeah, it's like you can't really reverse it. We can just slow it down. So how do you do that? You know, what responsibility do we have as consumers? And this is something that I feel kind of strongly about, that, like, yes, like, you know, it's on us. Like, well, if we stop buying it, then they'll stop making it. You know, it's like when people wanted to do, like, a gas strike. Remember when the gas prices were super high for everybody? Like, oh, on the 4th of July, let's all do a gas strike. Like, it's fucking stupid. Like, that's just not going to work. No one's going to do that. And also, it's not going to fucking do anything. It's not going to do shit. It's the lamest attempt at a fucking strike, is a gas strike for one day. It's stupid. Oh, fuck, I lost my train of thought. I really did. But, yeah. We got to figure it out. Not a whole lot of time. I remember where I was going with this. So yeah, what responsibility do we have as people to, like, try and save the planet, quote unquote? And I believe that the big companies that manufacture stuff, that are pumping all this shit into the air, that are pulling stuff out of the ground for resources, whether it be oil or copper or nickel or lithium or whatever, right? It's like, that's on them. Like, I don't think me, like, recycling my Gatorade bottle twice a week is gonna do shit. It's not. Recycling on, like, a residential level doesn't fucking do anything. They put it in they put the plastic you're supposed to be recycling into another giant plastic container. It's like, it's just to kind of make us feel good. And I've read stuff that shows that it basically is, like, a scam, and that there's just not a lot of evidence that shows that recycling for us, like, people, normal people, not giant corporations, like, recycling and putting your fucking trash out on the street doesn't really do anything. That it doesn't even make a dent, because also now you're having another truck drive around, pump out more CO2 into the air and whatever, to drive around, pick up your stupid plastic thing and take it to another thing. And that, you know, it's just a whole thing. I've never worked from home. never gotten to do that. It seems, seems interesting. Some people really like it, and I could see that. I think the perfect balance would be like go into the office like maybe 3 days a week and work from home 2 days a week. That seems like the perfect balance to me, at least. But yeah, luckily, I didn't have to stop working at all, which was, more fortunate than others. So I don't have a ton of room to talk, but yeah, I'm trying to, see what I can do to possibly leave the 9-to-5 and work for myself, but I don't even know what that looks like. I'm trying to get into sync licensing music. I've heard a lot about, I've been making music for like, 15 years at this point, and I have so much music just sitting on my hard drive, and apparently there's ways to get that sync license, basically like on like TV shows or commercials or movies or what have you, and you basically get like royalty checks or placement checks and stuff, and there's apparently pretty good money in it if you can do it right. So I'm really I think that's the next thing I'm gonna try, and like see if I can somehow make any money on my music. I've never made any money on my music or anything. So, it maybe would give me a purpose in making music. It would give me something to do and drive and strive towards bettering my situation. Not that I have a bad situation, but, I think we all have a passion. We all have a dream. And if we could choose, we would choose to do something that we love to do for work. And some people can, some people can't, and like I'm not gonna know unless I try. I gotta try it, because if I don't, like 5, 6, 7 years is gonna pass by and I'm still gonna be doing the same shit, and then I'm gonna wonder like, well, now it's gonna be too late, and I know it's like, oh well, there's it's never too late. It's like, well, it kind of can be. You can kind of be fucked if you start things too late, because once the ball starts rolling, right? Like I'm in the rolling of the ball right now, right? Have a 9-to-5 job, stability is there, and like I'm just in it, Like I can't really get all. I can't just, you hear about these people that are just like, I just like quit my job. I'm like, that is fucking crazy to me. Like I can't even get there just to quit, and this whole like bet on yourself. Like that sounds awesome, but I don't know. I don't know how people do that. I don't. Like, do you just live off your savings and like get a different job? Like there has to be like a tipping point. There has to be like, I have to be making a certain amount of money on the side and be able to see a path. Like, okay, if I could leave my 9-to-5, then I could really do this full time. And then, finally take that leap and see what it's like. But just to quit, that's fucking crazy to me. That's crazy. So this is me documenting it, I guess, and hopefully it turns into something. I think my dream scenario right now is like I can just wake up and either do this podcast or make music for a good chunk of the day and be wherever I want. Having the flexibility to travel, right? Like, let's just go get an Airbnb in fucking Italy for a month. And then we're just going to be there for a month, and I'm going to make music there. I'm going to do the podcast there. And that's just it. And then we come back here, and then that's my life. Like, that seems really cool to be able to get paid and live off of my art in a sense, right? As hoity-toity as that sounds. Yeah, I think that's really what I want to do. And I'm 28, again, I'm not getting any younger, and I don't want to be the person that just gets stuck working at a 9 to 5. It just, I can't do that. I don't want to have regrets. Regret is hard. It's a very hard thing because there's, you beat yourself up and you don't realize in the moment, like you have to do stuff now. Like every moment that you have is a now. Like when you kind of look back on your life or an experience, you're like, wow, that was a moment like I learned from, right? But that moment was a now to you. That moment like felt like this moment right now. Like it was a now. And I think about that a lot too. Is like you just have to do stuff now. Because if you're constantly like, oh, well, I learned from this and like, yeah, at some point I'll get to it. And then I'll look back and go, wow, I'm glad I did that. But like, you got to do it. Everything is a now. Now is the only thing. Because 10 years ago when you did that thing that was really stupid, you learned from it, but it was still a now. It was still a present moment in your life. And you made that decision to do that thing, whether it be good or bad. So I guess to wrap that thought up is like, I feel like I have to do this now because if I don't, I will regret it. And that's really what it boils down to. I don't want to regret anything. Well, not anything, I guess. I guess if you don't regret anything, then you're kind of an asshole because then you're just kind of going through life being an asshole and not regretting being an asshole. Those people that are just like, well, I don't give a fuck. Nah, I don't give a fuck. It's like, well, you have to like care about something, right? You have to care about what people think of you, right? This whole notion, like, yeah, you just can't care what people think. Like, I believe that to a certain extent, but like, this whole thing is about what other people think. If there weren't other people, then what's the point of life, of doing things? It's because of other people. It's because of you, right? But you're also another person to somebody else. You are another thing to give out an opinion. So this notion that like you don't care what people think, I think is good, but I also think like, well, you have to care what other people think. Because if you're just being a dickhead all the time because you don't care, I don't care. And like then you're just an asshole. Like what kind of fucking person is that? And we all know people like that. We all know people that are just, the world revolves around them and they don't have they don't have the right lens on their glasses, I guess, to just be like, man, some of the shit that you're freaking out about or being an asshole about, just chill out, So that's that. We have bears now rummaging through our trash cans at our place, and there's 3 of them. There's 3 baby cubs that come every other couple of weeks. They've come twice, but they knock over all the fucking trash cans and they eat all the trash and then they leave. And it's really weird to see bears here. I don't live in the suburbs, so it's not like super weird, but I mean, we're only like 10 miles away from like a city, from like Roseville, So it's very strange, and you can't really get much higher on the food chain than a bear. It's probably the wildest thing we'll see here. Maybe unless we see like a bobcat or something, or a mountain lion, which I guess is possible if a bear's going to make its way down here. I mean, to see 3 cubs like scooting underneath like the gate that holds all of our trash cans for our complex, it's pretty crazy. And then they just kind of do their thing and then they go away. But I haven't seen Mama Bear, which is probably good. Sam keeps telling me when the bears come that I should call somebody. I'm like, I don't fucking call who? And tell them what? Like, hey, there's a bear here. well, what are you going to, I don't know. Apparently you just need to know. And then he's like, well, they'll take them where they need to be. And I'm like, how do they know where they need to be? Like, also everything's on fucking fire. So their homes are burned down now. So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of let them be. Like, they'll figure it out, right? They're bears. I don't know. I don't feel like I need to call anybody. And also, I don't, like, if I call them, they're going to show up like, oh, where are the bears? It's like, well, it took you 45 minutes to get here. They're only here for like 10. So, I don't know. Go fucking find them. Seems weird. We're not camping. Like, it's not like they're going to come in our house and, you know, go through our fridge and fucking rob us. Like, they're just going through the trash cans. Yeah. Wildlife. I think living out here, you know, again, we're far out from the city. Not far, but you know, we're obviously kind of more in the woods than, you know, Roseville or Rockland. We're spoiled in the sense of our next place that we move to is going to be really hard to top this location. Like, we are very spoiled where we are. We can go on a hike. We can walk out our door and go see a beautiful view. We don't even have to get in a car to drive to go to a hike. And if we get in a car to drive to go to a hike, it's 2 minutes down the road, and then we're there. And yeah, it's like I don't know where else to go that I would have this same vibe that I really like here. I think that's another thing that's tough in this, you know, kind of other thing I was talking about, you know, being self-sufficient and not working a 9 to 5. Like, you know, could we live a nomadic life where we are just kind of, you know, we have a home base, which is here, and then we just travel? Like, that seems really cool too, is just kind of having your place here. You go and live somewhere for a month, you work remotely, and then you come back here for a month, you know, you kind of do your thing, maybe 2 months, and then you're kind of somewhere else for a month, you know? I mean, Airbnbs by the month, depending on where you look and the time of year, are really not that bad. Like, we're going to Costa Rica, as I've said 1,000 times on this podcast, but we're going there. We're about a week and a half away. We're very excited, and bang for your buck. I mean, it was, you know, coming down the stretch of booking the tickets. It was like, do we go here or do we just say fuck it and go to Hawaii or go to Kauai, I guess, to be specific? But it's the cost. It's not even the flights. It's the, you know, you pay $200 a night for an Airbnb in Costa Rica, and you get this, like, you know, jungle stay with air conditioning, and it's super dope, and like by the ocean, and it's awesome. You know, $200 a night in Kauai or any of the Hawaiian Islands is like, yeah, you get like a 1-bedroom apartment that's, you know, a 20-minute walk from the beach, you know, and it's just not good to actually vacation and have like the time that we're looking for. So it was hard, and the food over there is expensive too. So it all adds up, right? You have to like account for all of this shit. But we're very excited. We're gonna go. We're gonna do some zip lining. We're going to be doing a jungle walk, which is cool. I did it last time I was there. There's a national park like 40 minutes away from where we're staying in our first night, and yeah, that's pretty cool. There's like a guy that walks around with like a little like telescope thing, and he, you know, oh, look up there, there's a sloth, or like there's monkeys and stuff everywhere. So that should be really cool. See all that stuff in the wild. Yeah, we talked yesterday, last night on the Instagram Live, which won't be on this, so maybe I'll kind of touch on it again. Watched this documentary called The Last Tourist, and it's a really depressing documentary. It's on Hulu, I guess. It's good, but it's just like super sad because it basically goes into the whole tourism industry and how like these cities that people take cruises to, or that are like hotspots for tourism, like the money just does not go back to the economy in the city that you would think. You know, you go on, especially the cruises. The cruises are really tough. Like a Jamaican cruise, they use this as an example, and there is like, They drop you off in these fucking like massive ports, right? And you're basically like enclosed on, it's got like this private beach, and it's got, all the stuff, and they give you a sheet that says like only shop at these vendors because they're approved by this, by like our, by Carnival Cruise or whatever, the approved vendors here, and don't go here because you can't trust the locals. So like the locals just get like bent over backwards, right? They're having all this money stay in this like little tiny area, and they're the ones suffering because like people on a cruise, they get off the cruise, they go and do their excursions, right, with their paid guided tour people, and then they walk around the facility or whatever, the couple restaurants and stuff for a couple hours, and they go back on the ship. It's fucked up. We saw that when we were in Greece. And my God, every day was like by the hundreds and hundreds of people on these cruise ships. Like they get off and they're on their, they got their fucking headphones, and there's somebody with like an orange, little stick. Like, hey, you have the orange necklace on. Follow me with the orange thing. And she's talking, and like she's, and like, oh my God, like not being able to just go explore for as long as you want or go out on the town at night. Because I'm pretty sure the cruise ship, you got to be back by like 11. Otherwise, they close it up so nobody can leave or go or whatever. I don't know if all cruises are like that, but the ones there, I'm pretty sure were, because as, a certain time of the night hits, like they're all just funneling back into this fucking gigantic Titanic-sized ×2 ship to sleep, and it sucks because the local population or that city or country that you're, and this stuff isn't cheap either. It's like it costs a lot of money, and it'd be nice to know that this money is like going back into the local community and stuff like that. And it sucks on both hands because they don't get the money, obviously, but also you're not really experiencing the city like on your own, right? It's a very like careful way to travel, and not that you shouldn't be careful. But it seems like a very like, oh, let me hold your hand and we're going to go see Mykonos in Greece. It's like, cool. Like, are you really doing it? Or like, oh, we're in Italy now. So, yeah, we went around, we went to a couple museums, but like, did you really like get to just wander and pop in and out of little shops and stuff like for the whole time? We're out till like, when we were in Italy, we were out till like, my dad, Tracy, and Josh and I, there'd be nights where we out till like 11 o'clock. Like we go have a late dinner, and then we walking back, and all the shops are open. It's like you can't do that on a cruise. You can't get out and be out of your comfort zone. I think that's my ultimate point. Is you're not going to grow, and you're not going to see the stuff that's going to change you and give you perspective if you're doing one of these whitewashed, careful, very regimented cruises. And I think it's a tough, and a lot of people do cruises. A lot of people only do cruises because they don't like to fly or because it's convenient. It's all inclusive. You get the drink package, all this stuff. You don't have to get an Airbnb. You don't have to do all that planning, but like that's part of it. That's like part of the experience. Like part of the unknown is like, when we go to Costa Rica, we got to land and we got to find a way to get to the rental car place and then get the rental car and then drive to our Airbnb and get there and like hope that we can find it. It's like that's part of the experience, in my opinion. Right. Yeah. So I guess that's my soapbox for travel. My cousin, John, who is in the Marines, he said something to me like a couple months ago when he was visiting, because he's traveled a ton of places. He's been everywhere. And he says he focuses now on being a citizen of the world, not a citizen of the United States. And that has really stuck with me as like, yeah, we are in our own country, but we are on planet Earth, and we can be a citizen of the Earth, of the world. Right? You don't have to be, we're all people. Everybody on this planet is a person. They all have needs, desires, wants, motives. They all feel love. They all feel sad. Like we're all, We're all kind of in this together, right? And I know that sounds like very kumbaya bullshit, but it's true, right? Like even the worst people in the world are like still people. You know, even if someone is so different from you in another place, they're still fucking people, right? We should at least on some level have compassion for everybody to some degree, right? And not be afraid because someone looks different or speaks different or eats different or does things differently than us. I think a lot of people get stuck in that box because, we're told America's the best country in the world, which it is. But there's so much to see. There's so much to see. And I want to go see it. I want to see it all. And I've already seen a lot of cool stuff. I've been very fortunate. And, yeah, I just, people got to get out there. And it's easier said than done. It costs money to do this stuff. You got to work for it. You got to plan for it. You got to be stressed out for weeks and months about it. And then once you get there, you just got to be in the moment. Get off your phone. You don't need to record everything, right? Like when we were in Italy, there's that famous fountain. I can't remember the name of it, but it's in Rome, I think. Shit, I don't know. But you go there and there's like constantly people, like hundreds of people crammed in around this fountain. And let's see what it's called. Famous fountain in Rome. Trevi Fountain. Yeah. Look it up. It's the Trevi Fountain. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. It's super impressive. But like any picture you see without people in front of it, without like it being just absolutely crowded with people, is either photoshopped or they took during the pandemic. Because there's there's a picture right now that I'm looking at where there's nobody around it. They either shut the city down just to get that shot, or this was during COVID, because there's just no, yeah. And that's how it is everywhere, though. Everywhere, everybody wants to go somewhere. Everybody wants to see the thing. Everybody wants to be a part of it. But on this documentary, they said there was a poll that was put out that 22% of people were 22% of people in this poll said that they would not travel somewhere if they couldn't post on Instagram. Think about that. I mean, that's what it's come to, is like, you Google like best Instagram spots in Rome, like watch. Yep, there it is. There's an article, 15 most Instagram places in Rome, 2022. It's like, that's what it is, right? You're these pictures, they, and that's cool, right? People want to go and they want to show that they're there, but there's not a whole lot of experience and like moment living that come from that, right? You're constantly seeing when you're one of these people that are on Instagram, like, or an influencer, right? You see stuff in squares, right? It's like a photographer, right? You're constantly seeing stuff in like a landscape form. Like you're constantly seeing what could I, if you stand back here, take this picture of me, and do what you got to do. But like when you see it in the wild, when you're out at a place like this and you see people just like dressed to the nine, like, they're doing whatever they can to get this picture, and they're taking all this time just to get this picture, and people want to do it. I mean, I admit, I've gotten a lot better at it as probably the last like 5 years. I've kind of stopped giving a fuck about taking pictures when we go, because it just kind of takes me out of it. I feel like a dork when I'm like holding up my phone, like trying to get the fucking best picture. Like, it's like I don't need 36,000 pictures of the Roman Colosseum. Like, we all know what it looks like. I can say I've been there. Get me a picture in front of it or inside of it. That's it. I don't need 50 pictures of it. Or when we were in Ireland, there's so much cool stuff to see in Ireland, especially like the Cliffs of Moher. Those are like the giant cliffs without like a fence on it. You can like walk up to the edge of it, basically. Not basically, you can fucking walk up to the edge. People jump off all the time, I think. Or maybe they did put a fence in. I can't remember. I don't think they did. But it's like how many pictures from like me standing on this cliff is going to do it justice? It's like, yeah, I'll take like 2 or 3 and then that's it, because you're showing people these pictures on your phone and then all I'm doing is explaining like, oh yeah, the pictures just don't do it justice. So it's like, why take all this fucking time to like get this picture and like make sure that it looks good just to post on Instagram? Just to flex, like literally just to say like I've been there, not like look at this cool thing, not wow what a great experience. It's just like I've been here, check that box, and no one can tell me I wasn't because it's documented in the fucking algorithm of wherever you're posting it. So yeah, well, I think I'm gonna wrap this one up. Yeah, thank you guys. Might do more Instagram lives. That was kind of fun. I wish I could figure out how to get whoever joins in the audio quality better, because that would be cool to like go on there and interact with people. People want to come on and say, talk some shit. That could be fun. So yeah, be on the lookout. Might do more Instagram lives, maybe on like a Saturday nights or something. Jump on and see what's happening. But yeah, enjoy your week. Maybe work 4 days. Just say fuck it to your boss. Just tell him I'm not coming in on Friday or Monday. Just tell him this is what I do now. So, all right, guys. Later.